Today marks a very important event in our calendar as we commence the training of the people who will be working in the polling stations at the 2022 general election. I'm told most of you have done this before, which is something I couldn't say 2 elections ago. The FAO conducted the first phase of recruitments last year between the 1st of September and the 15th of October, and this was followed by our one-day recruitment drives held in Suva, Nandi and Lautoka in December. As you are all successful applicants from phase 1, you will now be attending this first session of training. The FAO anticipates training approximately 15,000 individuals for the next general election, and this will be done through roughly 760 sessions between now and the 15th of April 2022. Can I just once again recognize that today's attendees are people who have already worked in the general election, and this means that the investments in our trainings in the 2 elections before this are paying dividends now, and that the people who are attending these trainings are actually what you say experienced election officials for the 2022 general election. Ladies and gentlemen, the training sessions will be conducted by FAO accredited field trainers, and those who perform exceptionally well during this training will proceed to the presiding officer's training. As we commence the training of election officials, I wanted to sound a few reminders to all those who may be interested to work for us in the 2022 general election. We need people with the highest level of integrity who can come out and carry out work and responsibilities as election officials without fear or favor and in every manner apolitical. Election officials must remain honest at all times and ensure that all the procedures as prescribed by the Fijian Elections Office are followed to the letter. Election officials determine the credibility of each election, and it is very important that when you are carrying out this very important task that you do so as per the procedures that have been prescribed for these positions. Being an election official does not only mean that you are looking forward to the salary at the end of the day, but this is a great service to the country, and when one is called upon to serve the country, they must do so with utmost faith and honesty. It is important that you ensure that you carry out your roles diligently and in a manner that it is not only done but seen by the members of the public to have been done right. The training sessions are being held simultaneously in the Western, Northern and Central divisions. For the Western division, it is being held at the Bar Holdings Conference Room in Lautoka and at Lambasa, the Scouts Hall. If the venues do change, we will update it on our Facebook page so that you can go to the right venue. In any event, our teams call you and tell you where to turn up. The FAO has, in cooperation with the Ministry of Health, developed guidelines for ensuring compliance with COVID-19 protocols for the conduct of election officials training, and this will be followed thoroughly. As announced last week, the second phase of recruitment drive will commence this Wednesday. We've had to go back to the booking platform because we cannot allow walk-ins. Our booking platform is live and interested individuals can book for a time slot using the link provided on the Fijian Elections Office Facebook page. Ladies and gentlemen, I have recently completed a master's in election management, and one of the analysis that I did, part of my research, was how the general election in 2006, the election officials in the 2006 general election handled situations at a polling place in comparison to the election officials in 2018. And since most of you are 2018 election officials, I'd like to give you some remarks on that. It was noted in the 2006 election observer reports that when voters came to a polling station, different polling stations applied various different rules and processes in comparison to the polling station in another place in Fiji. It was also found that polling officials had to make do with whatever was available. So at one polling place, when they turned up, they didn't have a location to set up the polling station. So the election officials did well. They set it up under a tree. Unfortunately, it started raining very heavily. And of the 3 ballot boxes that are at every polling station in 2006, one of them had a lot of water going. But they were lucky, none of the voters for that ballot box were present at that polling station that day. In 2018, the polling of, if you look at the Multinational Observer Group report, the observers rated us very highly on consistency of polling processes between polling stations. Ladies and gentlemen, in the election world, the Fijian elections have now been known by the word bula. This is because when any voter comes to vote at our polling station, they are required to be greeted with a big bula. And when you go overseas and you'll hear presentations from other observers and international bodies, this is something that comes out as a note to say, when you go to an election in Fiji, you hear the word bula for every voter that turns up. And of course, why not? So, going into the 2022 general election, ladies and gentlemen, let us give Fijians the best customer service that they see. Let us give them the real pride in the vote that they have to give. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the day on which Fijians convert their right to vote into the right to select the people who will represent them. We must let them do so with dignity, and we must treat them courteously, we must treat them politely, and most of all, we must make every endeavor for them to be able to mark that ballot paper on election day to realize their right to vote, which is enshrined in our constitution. I wish you all the very best for your training. Please listen to the trainers. They are also very experienced. They have trained before, and they will be an asset to the Fijian elections in the future. With that said, I'd like to wish you all the very best for your training, and those who are looking to apply for the election officials roles, please book your time slots. No walk-ins will be allowed, and I look forward to seeing you all at the polling stations as you deliver the 2022 general election. Let's do this. Thank you.